It's time
to fire this thing up.
Hit it. What everybody's looking at is a trolling motor, and this particular one is from a company called Minn Kota. The series is called the Edge, and this is a 45-45. And Brian, what does that mean to people?
It's got a 45 pounds of thrust, and the shaft length is 45 inches long. And on this boat, that's going to be plenty for it to scoot along.
Well, good day, you made it. Hi, I'm John Graviscus. This is Brian Farrell.
Hey, everybody.
And where we're at today is in Tupper Lake, New York. We're in the Adirondacks. And this is my 16-foot Alumacraft, and we put in a custom casting platform a few years back. And you'll notice how it's kind of recessed into the boat a little bit. Brian, we have to somehow creatively mount the base for this trolling motor and raise it up so that the shaft can actually swing over clean and get down.
And lock into
straight
place,
up and down. Yeah. And we're going to have to get creative here. And we're going to be showing you kind of what we're going to be doing to accomplish that. But also, if you see these accessories out in front, these are from a company called Bob's Machine Shop. And these are accessories for trolling motors. And if you recall, about a year ago, those guys were here and they helped us with a jack plate on the boat. Well, today's topic is trolling motors, and we need to work out a little trade-off. We've got to get all of you to spend the next 30 minutes with us as we're working around the boat. And then in exchange, we're going to be letting you in on a whole lot more ways to do what, Brian?
Keep your boat ship-shape.
ShipShape TV, where boat improvement lives, is made possible by the entire collection of beautiful Sunbrella fabrics. Sunbrella, the only fabric to offer both design and performance, above and below deck. And by Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
I'm Jason Payank-Taylor, president of the TaylorMade Group, introducing for all T-top and hardtop boat owners, TaylorMadeCovers.com. Finally, high-end custom T-top covers for center console boats. Priced right, amazing custom fit. Installs in just minutes. Best yet, it's like half what canvas guys charge. Go to TaylorMadeCovers.com now with your year and model boat, the fabric and color you want. We build it, ship it directly to you within 2 weeks.
Boat Steering Solutions, every boater's BFF, is not a repair shop. We remanufacture hydraulic devices back to original factory specs. We disassemble, inspect, and replace all defective parts. Simply tell us what's wrong. Ship us your helm, cylinder. It's remanufactured, then back to you in a day or two, at like half the cost of buying new. Need hydraulic hose? Boat Steering Solutions, your official C-Star authorized service center, is your BFF. The savings are here at boatsteer.com.
Ever thought about adding additional canvas accessories to your boat? Hi, I'm Don Zirkelbach, president of Ameritex Fabric Systems. Our company often designs additional canvas options for the boat builders listed here, even if you didn't purchase canvas when your boat was new. Or maybe you bought a used boat without canvas. We can make those extra accessories for you now. Find your boat at AmeritexDirect.com, and we can make your canvas fast at factory direct pricing. That's AmeritexDirect.com.
Welcome back. It's time to get into today's project with John.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Farrell, and today John has tasked me with installing this Minn Kota Edge trolling motor onto the Alumacraft. Standing with me is Stephen Polini with Bob's Machine Shop.
Hello.
And today he is going to graciously help me out with this install. If you guys don't know, Bob's Machine Shop is very involved with the performance fishing market. And because of that, Stephen has had a little bit more experience with trolling motors and installs, and he's going to help guide me through this process on the best way to get this installed on this boat.
Yeah. I mean, you and John hit the nail on the head before. You got to get up to clear this gunnel. So we have to figure out a way to raise it. We have to consider a few ideas this morning. We're talking about possibly through bolting it onto this gunnel. The issue we run into then is too much of the frame here hanging over.
Yeah, it ends up sticking out to like here. And that can be an issue with docking, or as simple as the cover won't fit the boat any longer.
So we came up with a great idea of using some board we found in John's garage. We've put it through the table saw to rip it up into some size, and we're going to fabricate a little mounting platform here for it.
Now, why are we running at an angle instead of kind of straight off one side?
Well, you want to maximize the deck space for the angle, or as much room as you have for casting, for keeping your equipment, your lures, everything laid out, ready to go. Mm-hmm. So the more deck space you have, the better.
Okay. So this morning we ended up cutting the starboard into like 5.5 by 6.5 blocks. And we're going to use these to make a large block to mount to the deck here. And it's going to allow this bracket for the trolling motor to sit at the proper height and proper angle to where it'll function. If we could kind of go ahead and mock this up real quick so we could show what we're accomplishing. So by mounting it like this, you can see that the motor is barely overhanging the side of the boat, and that's going to allow, you know, more maneuverability. It's not going to get in the way while docking and all that. And we've also got it sitting up high enough off the deck that if we could go ahead and try to show the swing of this. The motor's going to clear and
come down, no problem.
Lock down into place, perfect.
Yeah, so I think this is the way for us to go about getting it done. It shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, it's an easy install. We went ahead and cut these blocks already. We just have to screw them to one another and fix them to the deck, and then screw the mounting bracket into these blocks and into this aluminum plate up front. You know, I think it's going to be plenty strong, and it's going to allow us to get on the water and do a little bit more fishing without scaring the fish away by throwing an anchor or starting up the outboard.
Absolutely.
We got the trolling motor mounted, and it works like an absolute dream. You know, it's very sturdy, sitting at the right height, everything's functional. So the next step in our process is to go ahead and get the foot control mounted, as well as that pedestal seat that we were talking about. Now, what would be the first step?
I would go ahead and start with the pedestal seat.
Okay.
That way we can use that as a frame of reference for where we want the foot control.
Okay. Now I see you've got it set up kind of here. Is that where we're mounting it?
Yeah, we're going to keep it centered in the boat. Just people are always scared to drill into the deck of their boat.
Yeah.
So it's as easy as you can make it though. You use a tape measure, make sure it's good in center, go ahead, mark and drill.
All right, so we've got a 3-inch hole saw here that we're going to go ahead and open up a hole that this section of the pedestal seat can go ahead and drop down into. And then we've got 6 holes for screws to go ahead and mount it, you know, flush down to the deck. And then in the middle here, we've got the little hole that the pedestal itself sits in, and the seat goes on top of that.
Correct.
So once we've got that mounted, we're going to use that as a place of orientation for the foot control. What's the most popular place to put these? I know in the bass world, foot controlled motors are probably more prevalent than a hand controlled tiller.
Yeah, people really like the foot control units. They do keep them in the center of the boat as well. That way, whether you're fishing off the right side of your bow or the left side, you can turn and use either foot.
Okay.
As well as you get tired and fatigued throughout the day, you can switch.
Yeah, I understand. I can imagine that would happen.
Yeah, you're standing on it all day and turning it, be it. So you want to be able to keep yourself comfortable and standing as long as possible, catch as many fish.
Of course.
So.
As far as how far to put it away from the pedestal seat, that's just comfort?
That's comfort. That's, how tall the boater is.
Okay, so we're kind of thinking center line, enough to where you're not cramped.
Yes, sir.
All right, simple enough. Now once we get this mounted down, this is a couple of screws as well. Next step is going to be wiring it. And all we have is 2 wires. It looks very simple.
Yep, and it is that simple. Some people will put a plug on a female male so they can disconnect and take it out of their boat. Mm-hmm. We're just going to hardwire it to the battery, so we've gone ahead and we've got some extra length of wire. Going to rig up our own wiring harness and run it on back to the battery.
Yep, yeah, the battery in this boat's at the very stern, backed out the motor and the jack plate, and we're actually going to tie into that same battery.
Yeah, that's what's cool with this being a 12-volt system, is that we don't need to add extra batteries or add more weight to this. We can just run it to the single battery, and I think it'll give us plenty of juice for the day.
So it's simple. We just got to splice into this, drill a hole underneath the deck, and then kind of run it underneath the subfloor all the way back to the battery. new terminals, good to go, and it will be functioning.
Yep.
All right. Well, guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this.
Attention waterfront property owners already sold on the fact that synthetic lumber for decks and docks is far superior to the pitfalls of pressure-treated wood. You know about the splintering and the weathering issues. However, not every composite board sold is alike. Some turn chalky, decay due to mold and mildew. Most fade in color with age, though not true when you opt for the best. Lumber Rock, the fastest growing manufacturer of synthetic lumber on and around the waterfront. Lumber Rock, we never fade away.
This is why we call them Ocean Tamer. Total body support and comfort. Shock-absorbing marine beanbag chairs. Ocean Tamer, the most comfortable seat on board. Crafted from 100% marine-grade materials. Built tough to handle the harsh marine environment. Water repellent. UV stabilized. Ocean Tamer marine beanbags. 4 awesome styles, tons of color choices. Can be personalized with boat name or logo. Finally, 2 nylon handles for ease of carrying or stowing. Order yours today. Ocean-tamer.com.
There's no other place you'd rather be than on the water, living your passion. Whether it's a serene day at the lake, cruising the coastline, or using the wind to power you along your course, only Sunbrella fabrics combine style and comfort above and below deck with the absolute best performance and warranty on land and sea.
Welcome back. You're watching ShipShape TV, boat improvement made easy.
Hey John, I want to welcome you out to Lake Murray again. How about this rear seat?
You know, this is kind of why you buy a pleasure boat, all right? Get away from work, get out on the water, cool down in the summertime, escape all the pressures of life. And man, we are doing some ultimate chillaxing on this brand new 2020 Sea Hunt. And who we again have on the program, this is Robbie Coates. Robbie is the national sales manager, okay, for Sea Hunt. We're on Lake Murray. This is beautiful in South Carolina,
yes,
man.
It is.
We're just outside of Columbia. This is where they build the Sea Hunts. And Robbie, we're doing the ultimate chillaxing here with these footrests. And I want to talk about the owner. I want to talk about his inventions, okay? He is a mastermind when it comes to creature comforts on a boat. What are we resting our feet on, my friend?
Well, you know, Bubba is a pretty incredible guy, and he comes up with these brainstorm ideas, and they're really neat. These are footrests that we've incorporated into our Ultra series. This particular one is a bait tank leaning post with our captain's chairs, and it does have the pull-out footrest on the back. We also build it in a mezzanine that has a rear-facing seat.
Okay, well this particular setup is like the ultimate bait prep station, okay?
Right.
You have places for your fishing hooks and for your knives, your fillet knives, your pliers, you've got drink holders, you got an amazing live well back behind the actual rocket launcher. And then Bubba's of Niche again, okay, these pop-out footrests that recess, okay, when you're fishing, okay, they're out of the way. But when you want to chillax back here, I love this back bench seat.
It really is.
I haven't noticed it before on the 235, the seat that you're in. Please, that's different. What's going on?
Well, for 2020, this was another Bubba idea. And we've come out with this companion seat. So it's a really nice rounded seat. It's got some really nice recline to it, and it's got your drink holder right here. It's just the ultimate comfort.
Okay, back behind us, Sea Hunt only uses the best gear. Okay,
Right.
All of your boats are powered by Yamaha. What's the horsepower on this particular 235?
This is an XCA. We only use XCA motors, which are digital throttle, fly-by-wire engines. This particular engine is a 250 horsepower V6.
Okay, and this is Yamaha. That's all you guys
Absolutely.
go with. I haven't seen this before either on a 23-foot boat, Robbie, and it's right to your right. Okay, that door. Tell us about it.
Well, to my knowledge, John, we're the only people that are making a 23-foot boat with a side entry door. And that side entry door is referred to in many different types of logos. It uses a dog door. It uses a older folks door. It uses a tuna door, a dive door, a children's door. You're carrying a cooler on board. It's very easy to go transition from boat to boat or from dock to dock.
I have not seen it before on a 23, and I'm very impressed. Now, you guys are very well known for just integrating standard features to where people don't get nickeled and dimed to death by options,
Right.
accessories, okay? let's talk about what comes standard in the 235, okay? And especially get into that fiberglass hardtop. That is beautiful.
Yes, this top is standard on this boat, along with the tempered glass enclosure for this year. It is all tempered glass. The misting system is standard with the hardtop, along with an extra set of speakers, so it gives you a total of 6 speakers. The JL audio system is standard on this boat.
Okay, do you have the wireless charging like we have shown before in previous episodes on other model Sea Hunts on this particular model?
We have it on this particular model, and every model we have has that wireless charger.
And guys, I really want to encourage you to go to the ShipShape TV YouTube channel, okay, and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to look at different models and compare the Sea Hunts, okay, you can do that. And what's really cool is every time we post a brand new show, and it's all the time, okay, it's going to be notified right through your Gmail account. Okay, and you can sit there and watch it on any device anywhere in the world that has internet, and I'm telling you, people are absolutely using it as a fantastic tool. The electronics, okay, what's standard?
Standard on this boat, you can either go from a 9-inch unit or a 12-inch unit. We're Garmin, and we do offer Simrad. Garmin is about 90% of our business right now, but electronics are going to come standard on this boat.
You mentioned those misters, and for people that don't really understand how it works, is it kind of atomizes water, okay, like at a theme park.
Right.
And it shoots out a mist, and it drops the temperature like 15 to 20 degrees, and it comes standard in this. Oh my gosh, it is fantastic. Bubba also incorporated and invented the forward seating.
He did.
Okay, with those backrests and everything. This configuration is different though underneath the upholstery. Can you explain that to everybody?
Well, what we did, John, years ago, Bubba came up with the idea to build 2 fish boxes up front, a 90 quart and a 140 quart, and he's angled them into a position that Mom gets the ultimate wide seating with very long leg room up front. But when those are removed and Dad wants to go fishing, guess what? You've got a great casting platform up front.
Okay, now this is called the Ultra.
It's the Ultra.
Okay, and that's an acronym. And what does that stand for?
It stands for the ultimate lifestyle that's really affordable.
Okay, you get a lot with this 23. I really want to talk about the brand loyalty that people have, you know, with their particular boat brand. You have sold more fiberglass boats in the last 15 years from like 18 to 30 foot than anybody in the country. There's so many customers that really want the cool apparel like you're wearing. You got the hat, you have the Sea Hunt shirts, you know, you got t-shirts, you've got ladies, you've got men's, but how do people actually get that? You know, maybe they want that sticker for the back of their pickup truck. I mean, it's cool. People really gravitate towards their passion, which is their pleasure boat, and you're like #1.
Well, John, we found out that our customers are extremely loyal, and they do want Sea Hunt apparel. They want things with Sea Hunt on them. We found out years ago that we're not very good at apparel, so we teamed up this year with Local Boy Outfitters. They're right here in Columbia, South Carolina. They do a dynamite job on this apparel. You can go to our website, go onto our apparel store, and there's plenty of apparel from children, mom, dad. There's shirts, hats, winter gear, summer gear. It's all right there, and there's more to come every single day.
Guys, there's another reason you might want to think about investing in a Sea Hunt. I'm talking about resale value, okay? A lot of families, they'll get into a boat like this, 23-foot boat. Kids get a little bit bigger, they're growing, okay? In 3-4 years, they're thinking about getting a larger size boat. So you really want to go with a brand that you're going to get maximum resale value, so that when you step up, you're not getting crushed. You're not going to be upside down, okay? And that's a key thing. Where can people get more information on the new Ultra 235 for 2020?
John, the best place is to go to our website. It's SeaHuntBoats.com. There's a dealer locator list on there, and it'll put you in touch with a dealer that's very local to you. We'll get you out on the water and let you try one out.
Robbie, thanks so much for the look around. Guys, don't forget, go to the YouTube channel, ShipShape TV, and hit subscribe. We'll be back right after this.
That's right, in my world, it takes an entire village to raise a boat. More guest experts from the marine industry right after this.
Master your most challenging offshore experience with confidence and ease with Yamaha Helmmaster. Precise, intuitive control on the open seas. Unrivaled ease for maneuvering and docking in port. And now SetPoint adds 3 new dimensions to boat control. Maintain boat position with fish point, or a position and heading with stay point, or a heading while you drift with drift point. Yamaha Helmmaster, now with SetPoint. Complete digital control for today's larger offshore boats.
Why is Sea Hunt now the #1 selling fiberglass center console style boat 18 to 30 feet in America? Because when you buy a Sea Hunt, you get so much more. More standard features, more efficient running hulls.
Look, guys, I'm running 34 miles an hour on just one engine.
More cockpit space, more family time out on the water, more fishable, more funnable, so much more affordable. Sea Hunt, more, more, more.
You are the coolest dad on the planet. Your kids and their friends love to hang with you. You get it. You get them. That's why you had to get a lily pad diving board for the boat. That's right. Every head on the water turns in your direction. Let's check with the judges. Lily pad diving boards. A perfect 10 every time. Your private water park every time you anchor.
Welcome back. You're tuned into ShipShape TV, America's favorite boat improvement show.
Welcome back. We've had Stephen Polini on the program with us today here at ShipShape TV from Bob's Machine Shop. And trolling motors, you know, the blades are not the most accurate, if you will. They're plastic. You can get some vibration and everything else. We teased at the beginning of the program, Stephen, about some of your accessories for trolling motors to solve some different issues. What's this first?
So this is our balance
product right here.
Trolling motor prop nut. It's a large, accurate CNC machine prop nut that has a lot of mass and a lot of balance to it. And when you put it on the front of it, it works like a harmonic dampener in a car. It's going to take a lot of the vibrations out of your prop out to get you running a little bit quieter into the shallows and not spook off the fish.
What are we looking at price-wise?
45 bucks.
All right. Now, say for example, we get into some weeds. We want to raise the shaft, okay? What we have currently original is a thumb knob, okay? Thumb screw knob. All right, what do you have that really quickens up the process if you have to clear any type of weed, any type of fishing line? What is this all about?
So this is the quick slip cam lever. It works similar to like a bicycle seat where you're going to replace that wing nut with this cam lever, stainless steel, made for marine environment. You just pop it open, change your height, lock it down. No more hang off the bow dealing with the thumb screw, just 2 seconds to change your height.
Okay, to pull the actual, the head of the motor out of the water, there's a T-handle and a rope. You guys make an accessory. This is like, you call it the big D, but this isn't a T-handle, this is a D-handle, but it's not rope that you're using. What is this all about and why is it so much more secure?
So it's stainless steel, it's vinyl coated, so it still looks great, but it's stainless steel, so it's not going to break, it's not going to go bad with sun and UV, salt water. It's an injection molded nylon handle with a comfort grip, so it's just much stronger. The cable's molded into the handle so it won't break out. Really, really secure piece.
We're putting all 3 accessories onto this trolling motor. If somebody at home wanted one of these accessories, where would we lead them?
You can go to bobsmachine.com.
Guys, what we have here is a PVC shell. This is like a starboard type of material, very challenging to clean. And who we have back on the program is Bill Lindsay, the Vice President of Starbright. And Bill, you make so many different cleaning products for goo and gack and any type of stain that might be on a boat or in a car, okay? And just a little while ago, you were recommending for this PVC shell, okay, to clean it up, using the Starbright Ultimate Extreme Clean, okay? We're ready to spray. I want to do this right before your eyes. I also have in my hands, this is a Starbright, this is the white one, okay? This is their scrubbing pad. This gives you extra elbow grease. And Bill, let's kind of do a little demonstration here. And how is this going to clean, okay?
Basically, it uses chelating agent. It's not a soap. It breaks the bond between the dirt and the surface, so you can just wipe it up. And you can see it coming off as you scrub.
You can see it coming off, but let me wipe it up with the microfiber right before your eyes. Okay, Where can people at home get this? I mean, so many problems around the starboard, on all the PVC. Okay, we got to clean it up in the boat. Where can people get more information?
Go to starbright.com, STARBRITE.com.
You guys at Starbright, you're lifesavers.
Don't sail away. ShipShape TV will be back in a flash.
I'm Mike O'Hott with TaylorMade Systems. Is your boat windshield scratched, pitted, or peeling? Is your glass broken or your frame bent? Or are you restoring a vintage boat? Our new website, boatwindshieldrepair.com, will help you repair or replace your boat's worn out and damaged windshield. Plus, we offer replacement hardware such as hatch arms, windshield vinyl, door latches, and vent window locks. Visit our new website, boatwindshieldrepair.com. At TaylorMade Systems, we're committed to making your boat look shipshape again.
Now in our 45th year, KenCraft introduces the all-new 2020 KenCraft Bay Rider Bay boats and skiffs, powered exclusively by Yamaha, specifically designed to fish hard, specifically designed to cruise well with your family. Can there really be one boat that does both exceedingly well? Yes, there can, with a KenCraft. KenCraft, top-tier fit and finish. KenCraft, only the best, most expensive marine hardware integrated. Can it be yours? Of course it can. Affordably. KenCraftBoats.com.
Keep them coming, guys. Let's talk marine exhaust. Hi, I'm Clete Galasso from Lighthouse Marine Supply. Here's what we are stocking. Bar exhaust risers, a critical part of a marine engine's exhaust system, and here's a bar exhaust manifold. I tell customers when you need the best saltwater replacement exhaust manifolds and risers, there's none better than Bar Marine. Best yet, MarineEngineParts.com, you'll save 25 to 30% off OE prices. Back to stocking, guys.
Big news! Full episodes are now available on the ShipShape TV YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, and every time a program posts, you'll be personally notified.
Well, guys, they're forecasting rain for the next 4 days, but we're here at the boat ramp just to give you a little demonstration of some of the accessories that we put onto our new trolling motor from Minn Kota. And Steve, I was wondering if we could start off here with this prop nut. How does that make it easier to clear weeds if you ever get them tangled up?
So the great part about it, it's all going to be done by hand, so you no longer need to use a ratchet. It just going to by hand unscrew this off, pop your prop off, clear any lines. Nice and easy. You line the shear pin back up.
Right.
Put it back on, throw your washer on, and by hand just go till it's snug. You don't need to crank it down, and you're done.
We took off the D handle with the rope, or I mean the T handle with the rope, and we put on your D handle. Demonstrate that and how with the stainless steel cable it's so much.
Yeah, just give a nice little pop. You get your trolling motor deployed, and you are good to go. Nice comfort handle.
All right, now if you coming across a stump or a rock, how do we adjust the height up or down?
So you're just going to open up the cam lever, and you're ready to go. Just nice, quick, easy adjustments.
Well, Steve, we got to thank you, everybody at Bob's Machine Shop. We had Robbie Coates on the program today. So many experts from the marine industry, but unfortunately, that's why they call it fishing instead of catching, because we're not going out, and trust me, the odds of you catching a fish greatly increase when you actually have a line in the water. That's not going to be the case today, but hey, I'm John Graviscus. We're all out of time. We will see you on the next go-around.
Closed captioning provided by the over 2-decade video library at the all-new ShipShape TV website. Available now worldwide online with paid subscription. Makes a great gift with a special boater search engine for ease of use. Hurry, the introductory price ends soon, so watch any episode, old or new, on any device at the all-new ShipShapeTV.com.
SeaDeck was founded by a group of individuals who share a love of life on the water. 13 years later, and more than 130 employees strong, our passion has grown stronger than ever before. We are fishermen.
We are paddleboarders.
We are surfers.
We are parents.
We are Captains for Clean Water.